Aardman started with me and a guy called Dave Sproxton, and we were literally at high school together. So we met when we were 12 years old. When we were about 16 or something, we experimented with animation, which is an unusual thing to do. We were very lucky. And when we were 18, we sold our first piece to a TV station, to the BBC. And that was kind of a hobby. It was just a hobby for fun. And then we found you could get some money for it. So then I'm talking about 1971 or 72, I think. And that's when we invented the name Aardman, which is just a silly joke. Then we started making films quite seriously. And the hobby slowly became a career. And we did films for kids. We did TV adverts. We did music videos like A Sledgehammer for Peter Gabriel.
You could have a car bumping.
And then we met a young guy called Nick Park, who had characters called Wallace and Gromit. And Nick is a complete genius. So he joined us.
Tell you what, Gromit lad, let's have a nice hot cup of tea.
Then one day in the 1990s, we felt brave enough to try and make a feature film, an animated feature, which was kind of strange because we worked with modelling clay. It was not normal. And we made Chicken Run.
The first film was so complete. You know, it had a great beginning, middle and end, and it ended perfectly. And so it took a while, I think, to come up with a new line to unlock it, you know, to open it again. The first movie had a great line. It was The Great Escape with Chickens. It was just the one line. But the studio's, you know, not a huge studio. They make one film at a time. So just naturally after Chicken Run, I think you felt it was done, right? It was a finished story. Yeah. So then Wallace and Gromit and, you know, Pirates, Early Man, Flushed Away, all these films. Time passed, and then in 2015, I think these guys met with Kerry Kirkpatrick, the writer of the first film, and came up with a line, you know the chickens from Chicken Run? Well, this time they're breaking in.
Last time we broke out of a chicken farm. Well, this time, we're breaking in.
And it kind of opened up a new kind of movie, you know, like a break-in movie, and just perfect for Aardman because we love everybody loves the ingenuity and the visual comedy of Aardman's work. And so, like chickens breaking in, it's kind of perfect, you know, they're the most unlikely action heroes possible. They're going to use all these small props and have very clever means by which they defeat, you know, giant humans, like Mission Impossible, but Chicken Impossible, you know. Yeah.
We have Molly to think about now.
The other big idea was to give Rocky and Ginger, the two heroes, to give them a daughter, and that unlocked the story. You know, until then everything was kind of finished. But now a whole new chapter opened up.
Yeah, new challenge for Ginger, you know, like she's the hero of the first film in many ways. She won freedom, she got what she wanted, happy ending.
You've got everything you want right here.
You can't make me stay here.
So we needed a new challenge, and the new challenge is motherhood and a daughter who is very much like her. Ginger's longed for this place, this freedom forever, and she gives it to her daughter, and her daughter's like, maybe doesn't want it, you know, and it's a real sort of slap in the face for Ginger's. It opens up a new emotional story.
Up, reach, nice,
The first movie was perfectly cast, you know, a fantastic cast. But just as time's passed, and it's nothing to do with the age of people particularly, but it's just a new, I felt myself, it felt like a new era now, you know, a new time. It's almost like a reboot, more as much as a sequel. So we're kind of reimagining Ginger and Rocky somewhat and bringing them, you know, evolving their characters and their story. And they felt different this time, different enough this time from the first time. The first time was romantic comedy, cool, like playboy, you know, movie star, American Rooster meets, you know, very serious, quite sort of plain English girl, you know.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You've been a wonderful audience.
But it's different this time. They're parents, and their roles are slightly different, and what's going on is different. So it just felt like, why not try something new? You know, we're in a new time.
And of course, the major recasting was the director. You know, because, so Nick and I, you know, were happy to stand aside and leave it to a new generation.
Yeah. He didn't want to change everything, but I'm absolutely in awe of the first movie, but I didn't just want to make a perfect copy of the first film. You know, I felt it was good to evolve and move, keep some, change some, and it took quite a while to figure that balance out.
For me, the thing is that mostly what you see is old school. You know, really, what you are looking at and what you are reacting to, and the characters you're caring about, almost entirely stop motion. So it is very much a stop motion film, but behind the scenes.
It's been evolving, because Aardman has always used the new technology as it's arrived, you know, like, and really stop motion became digital. In the 21st century, stop motion has gradually become more digital, shooting on digital cameras, using more green screens, digital cleanups, compositing. All of those kind of techniques have been around since, well, in all the movies of this century. And then with this one, because we were doing a different type of movie, like a Mission Impossible or a Bond, it was like a big Saturday night action movie. So it was we needed a bigger canvas in a way. So we used digital methods to expand the scale of the film. It's still, most of it is still stop motion, but just combined at different scales, composited. But if you want to make a lot of nuggets, you're going to need a lot of chickens. And stop motion people don't really like animating crowds. I don't know why.
Find those chickens!
So we did use digital for crowd in the background, in the distance, and then we used digital to kind of make the world like kind of bigger in the background. But anything mid-ground or closer to camera was all old school. And the thing is, it's such a beautiful method, and it's still relevant, you know, like it still works just as well. It's not slower, it's not more expensive. It's still a very viable way to make a movie.
In the first film, you had small chickens, but almost all the time they were in a confined environment. You know, they were in chicken huts or they were in the farmyard, whereas now those same chickens are in a big, much bigger world. They're in the human world a lot more. We had to make the world in at least 2 scales, and actually significantly more scale than that as well. So the
humans and the chickens interacting more. For every one shot, often there were 2 shots being shot simultaneously to kind of match them back together again. So yeah.
The truck's taking chickens to some kind of farm.
Well, hey, that doesn't look so bad.
It's satirical. Mostly we want to entertain. You know, we don't want to preach or, you know, we don't have a big message, but we want to entertain you. And then if you think, you can think a little bit more afterwards. But that colourful world of Funland Farms is definitely like a satirical look at the way food is presented now. You know, it's like everything's very happy on the farm, and food is always presented very as colourful and fun shapes as well. You know, so it's. The first movie was set like in the 40s and 50s, but now this is shifting into the early 60s, which is kind of when America arrived in Britain. The colour of pop art and commercial food, and Britain loved it, you know.
The dawn of the nugget.
Yes, I vividly remember the first hamburger I ever met in Britain. Like it was so exciting because it was American. You know, it was colourful and fun. We always maintain that we're making films. We're making movies. You know, animation that's just the technique. But the essence of what we're doing is good filmmaking. And so we are inevitably influenced by great filmmaking of the past, I think.
Yeah, cinematic images, you know. Yeah. I mean, it's always been a game, I think, that Aardman has played very successfully with Hollywood. And even you go back to The Wrong Trousers, you know, it's like a Hollywood train chase, but it's in a living room with a penguin, you know. That kind of tongue-in-cheek, playful, you can play with the Hollywood genres and types of movies. So certainly it made us laugh to think that the invention of chicken nuggets would be like some awful Bond villain's vision, you know, to get revenge on chickens. That all worked nicely. I mean, honestly, inside a chicken factory or in any kind of industrial farm, it's not a nice place. So we had to find a way to kind of make it more fun. And so that idea of a Disneyland for chickens, an indoor Disneyland was, to me, it made me think of The Truman Show.
Come on, let's play. There's something strange about this place.
Like, nothing is real, and it's all very colourful, and they're being watched from above, and so that was, for me, a reference. But then also individual moments, like the chicken goes up an escalator into heaven, which is a matter of life and death, which is a wonderful film. So you're always, it's just fun to just put your favourite things in. I don't know why we did it, actually. Just for a laugh, I suppose. For a laugh.
Yeah.